Welcome back to another daily outlook of severe weather. Over the next few days, we're gonna have about 2 more days of severe weather, and then we're gonna get a good break for a while. I feel like. Um, but today we have a slight risk 2 out of 5 up here in the South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, and parts of Minnesota and Nebraska area up here. But the main thing that we're focusing on is was yesterday a good day for tornadoes? So looking at today, not too thrilled about it so far. Still have some couple swarms popping up. We do have CJ Zeiger and Ryan Scholl that are out, not live yet, but are out. And if we go to our timer, it's past 24 hours. We will see. Let it update here. We go here. Come on. We had a rotation report around this time. The cell has redeveloped a wall cloud exhibiting fairly broad rotation in the wall cloud about 2.5 to 3 miles northwest. Guessing this over here towards Canada. Looks like it could have a wall cloud on this. She is probably right about that. This storm did form a wall cloud in this area from radar, it looks like. Here. Not much rotation on it. Maybe a little bit over here where this green speck is, but not a whole lot to be concerned about. This is when we had our confirmed tornado earlier. So let's go back a little. What in the world? Let's start when this started getting rotation over here. This did get some stronger rotation over here where they did end up finding a confirmed tornado, I believe. The confirmed tornado ended up being over here near Ideal and Hamel areas. So that's when they started forming a tornado. It did get really strong rotation over the past few scans during this. And then it just got like really strong down here. What just happened? Down here for this, it got really strong. And it had some really strong rotation at one point down here again with the tornado. This is where the tornado report was. So we did have a confirmed tornado by velocity, by velocity, it does look like we had a confirmed tornado here. Yeah, here also we started getting some higher velocity up here, and then still that main rotation down here. But right here is what we were looking at when we really got the rotation. This is what we were looking at. This is all wind. So this was the tornado here. It's not a lot, but that was the debris ball right there. And this will all be the strong winds and debris. The blue will mainly be debris. Being lost of this is mainly the wind. So the tornado was like right here in this area. So yesterday was a fairly good, decent day of the tornadoes. We can't go back to yesterday's outlook, but we can go to Sunday now. We do have a severe outlook over here. Nothing for tornadoes, but over here in North Dakota. And then on Saturday, we do have a slight chance of... categorical. Saturday, categorical. We do have two different slight chances. We have slight chances of tornadoes over here near Detroit and Pittsburgh, south of Toronto and London, Canada. So we might even see a tornado or a waterspout later in Canada. Okay, we are back. That was a failure on my end. That it cut, but anyway, there was a cut. Here we do have a slight risk again here near Erie in Cleveland mainly. The main spot we're going to be looking at is down here near Akron and Cleveland area. So the Cleveland Metro and Akron, Mansfield, this main area right here is what we're going to be focusing on. It's been really hot lately in Cleveland and really cold in Pittsburgh. Really cold in Cleveland, really hot in Pittsburgh. So that's what we're going to look at. Since it's been really hot and really cold in Cleveland, those are going to shift very soon. It's going to be getting fairly cold in Detroit lately, and Toledo. So we are going to see these color patterns swap, which could create ground circulation of tornadoes. So that's going to be the main thing we're going to be looking at. This is the higher chance that we see something on Saturday. Slight risk, but now this is a slight risk over here. 15% of tornadoes with this one. We're here in North Dakota. Actually, in North Dakota and Montana, we're mainly going to be looking at Williston and Culbertson. And this general area is going to be the main spot that we're going to see a lot of tornadoes in this storm. These storms are supposed to start to form down here near Colorado. There's possible tornadoes to form down here, and it's supposed to get really strong as it moves up near these areas. But still, all these marginal, this is all convective risk, very slight risk, but covering a lot of stuff, a lot of states with a lot of people, especially like Kansas City, Dallas, Houston, Denver, Omaha, Des Moines, Chicago, Little Rock, New Orleans, maybe even a little bit of Atlanta, back over to New York, all the way to Quebec, Ottawa, and Toronto, and people even in these marginal risk, the light green, still need to be taking this cover. So let's look at Friday. Friday, we actually have a bigger risk of tornadoes throughout the Iowa, Minnesota, and Nebraska, parts of even Kansas. So Kansas City, I've had a lot of people ask me about Kansas City, Columbia, Springfield. You're going to be getting some of these storms that could produce tornadoes on you. You guys are in the convective risk, so not a big risk, but definitely as these storms form and move down to the south, they could definitely impact some of the Kansas City and St. Louis metros. But Des Moines and Omaha, maybe even Sioux City, are looking at big risk. There's definitely a risk that we could see some tornadoes here, at least one, is what we're looking at. We have a big risk today. I feel like they should update this risk, and National Weather Service does say that Friday is looking at the best day for tornadoes. So we are going to see some very tornadic tornadoes. So there is a chance we could go live covering this area as they form up here near Montana, and they will start to move and get really strong down to the south before they get to Kansas City, Sioux Falls, and in this area. But this is the main spot we want to look at. So they're going to form. Storms are supposed to form up here near the afternoon, early evening, and into the night. They're supposed to get really strong. They're actually supposed to form up here. We're supposed to start seeing storms in this Okay, my apologies. In this vicinity of the U.S., and they're supposed to start to move down here, with the main spots, of course, being right here when they get really strong as they move down more of Tornado Alley to the warm and the cold air connecting. So that is going to be something we look at. And if we look at today's outlooks, we have a really weird outlook today. It looks like a U or some sort. Like almost like I put a stick on it to make it a Y. But we do have, again, a tornado risk. Not a very high risk, but there is definitely a lot of chances. We could see some. Kansas City, you are a little bit in the darker green, so you will see some more tornadoes. I believe they are forming here, and they're going to go this way. I think there's going to be some over here that are going to go this way too. And they're coming from the south today. There's going to be 2 spots of the storm starting to form over here. And they're going to apparently hook from the warm air and the colder air, and that could be a very big target for tornadoes. So that is today, and we have the forecast discussions. This is the hail risk, more of a high intensity of hail today. If we look at the wind, there's also a higher percent of wind today, so we need to be looking at that. And this is, I believe, the tornado. So a slight chance, but there is definitely a chance. Kansas City, you will see some tornadoes today, probably close to you. So people in the Kansas City area, Omaha, maybe even parts of Des Moines, be ready, weather aware again up here near Wyoming, Montana, Nebraska, Wyoming, South Dakota. Be aware. Kansas City, we're looking at I know this shows up here, but Kansas City, honestly, I think you're looking at a higher risk. I would not be surprised if they move this convective risk out to this area, move this risk down to about Kentucky, and then add the yellow risk for the slight risk for the Kansas City area down here. So I think they should move this out, the convective risk out here, this marginal risk out here, and then add a slight risk chance for this area. Definitely a chance that Kansas City, I think Kansas City is looking at a higher risk for tornadoes from the weather in the temperatures and stuff right now. Kansas City is looking very warm right now. So I think it's very humid too, so I think there's definitely a chance that this area right here could see more tornadoes than the issued risk for now. Again, tornado, wind, hail. We're looking at a high chance of hail today up here in the Rapid City, Pierre, Gillette, Gordon, Broadus, Buffalo. There's definitely chances of a lot of hail today up in this area. So just be weather aware. Stay safe out there. That's mainly all for today. Yesterday, we already went over yesterday's main concern of tornadoes and that observed tornado warning that I believe Ryan Schull put in. No. Who put that in? McMillan. What's his first name? Oh my gosh. John McMillan? Is that it? John McMillan, he did report that and did get a tornado warning issued for this area over here, and we did update it to an observed tornado warning. So there was an observed tornado at one point over here near Ideal. That's where it formed over here. So my track of the tornado is it started here, started to move up this way, and then it started to move more north and lifted here until they did issue another tornado warning. So I believe there might have been another tornado that lifted down here. So this is the outlooks for today. Hopefully everybody stays weather aware. Anything can happen at any moment, even if you're in this marginal risk or convective risk. Anybody in this Midwest, center of the U.S., area, highlighted area, even down here towards Miami and Key West, there is strong chances of water spouts. So anybody in these highlighted areas, stay well aware. Anything could happen. There could be an EF5 tornado. It's very low chance of an EF5 today, but it could happen down here near Dallas. It could happen. EF5 water spout could happen down here near Miami, New Orleans, San Antonio. Like anything could happen. So just take cover, and hopefully everybody has a good rest of the day. Stay well aware.